We're live.
So we are.
We are live. You can take over this show.
Me?
Yeah, you.
No.
You take over the show. You're the head.
Not today.
This is all about you.
I'm tired.
Me too.
You tired, boss?
We got nobody on here. I wonder why. Oh, one viewer.
It's because. Oh,
I hope one viewer.
let's turn it down. Here we go.
I know what I need to do.
Share it.
Yep, I'm going on there too. You take control, sir. I will share it around.
You gotta share.
Josh Ryan.
You gotta share.
Mom.
Where are you sharing it to?
I'll take care of it. I'm doing
You gonna
everywhere.
share it all?
Yep.
Okay.
You run the show.
I'm not gonna do it then.
Yep, there it is.
All right.
Probably need to mute everything.
Well, you can't talk about it. Both of us can't be talking. Just give them a couple more minutes. Get a couple more people on here. We got about 29 on here right now. 32. We're getting there. Got the fuzz fixing to knock the door down. This ain't good. Alright, well, let's go. So, alright, guys, we live. Fixing to, we're going to go over the weekend's tournaments. We got Brett here with us tonight. For those of you that don't know Brett's been running tournaments in the area since, 96, 7?
97.
Brett does the Cat Trail, CBCs among the Phantoms, and anything else. Am I missing anything?
That's it.
All right. Anyway, everybody knows Brett. He's been, tournament director around here for a long time, and we appreciate you coming tonight. We'll try not to get on you too much, but I'm sure it's gonna happen.
I know.
All right, David's finishing up, sharing everything around. So, Brett, I guess while he's doing that, we can, we can talk about the CBC, or you got something else you'd rather start with?
Yeah, well, we had the CBC at Lake Norman this past weekend. Had 198 teams. Not quite sure how many weighed in, but we had quite a few weigh in. Weighed in a spotted bass, almost 6 pounds.
Almost 6 pounds.
5.96. I mean, what is that? 5 pounds, 15 3/4 ounce.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's all over 6 pounds.
Yeah,
And we got to kill the spots.
I'm never going to promote killing them.
Thank God.
And I mean, and see what people don't realize too. In that tournament, a big fish doesn't break a tie, so we don't weigh a big fish for everybody. So I probably saw, I don't know, 20, 30 more spots over 3.5, 3 pounds. It wasn't weighed single, so there was a lot of good spots caught, and 4 or 5 largemouth, two over 6, and good many over 5.
I seen 3 5.5s weighed in while I was watching.
Yeah.
I was watching the weigh in driving up the road.
Yeah, the fishing was good. Like I said, Norman's competitive. I mean, to me, Norman's an ideal lake. The way it sets up now, you got new people that look at Norman and they see a guy winning a tournament with 14 pounds, and they're like, well, I can go there and compete. And when you go to Santee Cooper and you weigh in 20 pounds and you come in 20th place,
Yeah.
yeah, that's hard to swallow.
It is.
You got to step your game up. But Norman kind of reminds me of Carr or Kerr Lake.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a chance. The way I look at it, when we do a 2-day at Norman, most of the teams come back.
Right.
You have very few that don't come back the second day because they feel like they got a good chance.
Well, it's competitive. Like you said, you're at Norman most of the time. You're only one big bite away from getting back to where you need to be.
That's right. Well, a local fisherman up there has always done good. He told somebody this weekend, catch it 4 2-pounders and hope for a 5-pounder, and you're gonna
Right.
be way up there.
You'll be right there.
Yeah.
But see, that's the beauty of Lake Norman. I know there's guys out there that hate the spotted bass and all that stuff, but back in the day, we used to pray to get 5 keepers.
Oh yeah.
Now the spotted bass are there, and how many people had 9.5 to 10.5 pounds?
No, there was
A bunch.
A bunch of people.
That's what I'm
weighed in
saying.
there.
And look at it this way: when you go fish a tournament, you can do one or two things. You up there trying to win, or you just going to have a good time.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
I'm just going to tell you right now, there is not a better place in this area to go have a good time fishing than Lake Norman. It's so diverse. You can catch them on the bank. You can catch them under docks. You can catch them 40 foot deep if you want to. It's all about what you want to do.
Yeah.
And for a tournament trail, I think you can't ask for a better venue than that.
No, Wateree was off a lot this fall.
Right.
It's been off the last couple of years. 2 or 3 of the teams come up here this fall and fish Norman because they said it was fun.
Yeah,
they didn't
exactly.
win any. They didn't win a whole lot of money. I don't even know if they won any money.
But they had a good time.
But they had a good time.
That's
they caught
right.
a lot of fish, so they kept coming back.
Well, that's the thing about it. There's nothing worse than going out there and coughing up $200 to go out there and then you don't get a bite all day.
Yeah,
Then you're pissed off and you don't want to go back.
that's right.
At Norman, at least you're going to get your string pulled on.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've had some good weigh-ins at Norman.
Yeah.
This one wasn't bad. It was pretty good.
I mean, the thing about Norman is I think personally just, being up there as much as I am, I think the fishing has declined a little bit over the past couple years, size of fish wise. And we all got our theories on why that is. Me personally, I'm convinced it's because of them stupid hybrids in there. But, because there were several years ago, man, in the winter trail up there, it'd take 20 to 21 pounds to win. And I got beat several times with 19. And, there again, still took 17 and change. Congratulations to Mike Stevens and Chris Carnes. And, I think it still took around 14 or so to be in the top 10.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I thought the fishing was pretty good. They kept bringing the fish up.
Yeah.
I mean, my guy that was bumping the fish, I could tell he was getting tired. So,
Did Marty bump fish, or did he
he
fish?
actually fished. He's fishing the North Carolina side, so he won't be working with us on the North Carolina side.
Okay,
He'll
I
be
got
on
you.
the South Carolina side with us, but he fishes every now and then.
I got you. So what's up next for the CBC?
Well, we'll go to Santee March 12th.
Oh my Lord!
And it's going to be ugly.
Oh,
But
it's ugly down there right now. I can imagine what it'll be in 2
I
weeks.
tell you, I made a list today to carry more tanks because if anybody's been down at Santee when the fishing is like it's going to be with the fish
Yeah.
bed,
It's gonna
I
be
mean,
phenomenal.
there's so many big fish brought up there. And like I said, I'm going to carry some extra tanks and set more water out. Even though we weigh in right beside the water, but if you ain't never been down there this time of year, I mean, it's crazy.
Well, right now we got a little warmer trend going on. I think today and tomorrow, I think, are the last cool days. Then we're gonna be on a straight warmer trend, and I think, is it the new moon or the full moon?
New moon.
Is March the 9th or 10th.
Mhm.
Can't remember, but it's just a couple days.
I thought
you
it
know-
was this weekend. We said the new moon was.
Anyway, I don't know, but still, yet the fishing at Santee will be absolutely phenomenal for the CBC. And guys, if you're thinking about getting in it, if you're kicking it around, you probably should go because it's going to be a lot of fun.
I think I'm gonna branch out and go this year for the first time.
To Santee?
I think I'm gonna.
Well,
Okay, there you go. March 16th, full moon. So it's 4 days coming to the full moon on a warming trend. Boy.
well, I know a lot of people, they're scared of Santee, but you're looking at what people want you to look at on Facebook.
That's right.
They're going to show you the worst of Santee, and I've been going down there for years, but I only go to certain places because I don't have no reason to go all over that lake. But knock on wood, I've never hit anything, and it's like a guy down there told me, if you're not sure, idle. But most of the stuff's marked. When you go back in the creeks, just idle back in the creeks if you have to.
Yeah,
it's worth it.
just be careful.
Yeah, it's worth it. It'll take you a little time.
Th-
But the fishing's crazy.
The thing about Santee is the fish aren't all over the place, but when you get around them, you're around them.
They're all there.
Mm-hmm. I've caught twice. I've caught over 30 pounds on a frog. Just
Yeah.
cutting up in Takaw.
Having a good
I
time.
didn't go out of John C. Lane. And man, it's just crazy. You don't know if you're gonna catch a 2-pounder or it's gonna be 7 or 8 pounds.
That's right.
Maybe even 10.
But Shane, Santee has got bass that'll never see a lure.
Absolutely. There's places you can't get to them.
No, there's fishing pressure is never gonna hurt that lake.
That's right.
You just can't go far enough back. You think you're at the end of the water, and then it opens up and you're in another pond, and it just never stops. But I'm sure there's bass that'll never see a lure in that lake.
Yep.
But after that we go to High Rock. You know, High Rock puts out some big bags.
Oh yeah.
So
High Rock will be phenomenal also, as long as the water comes back up.
yeah.
I don't know what the lake level is now, but if that water if it'll creep up in them bushes, ooh-wee.
You know, all in all, with all the fishing pressure there is, there's way more people fishing now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the lakes we have around here, some are way down. We know that, but I mean, some of them hold up really, really well to the pressure. And I really think at times it's just how the lakes are managed and weather patterns or something that really affects the fishing more
Yeah.
than people.
That's right.
May be wrong about that, but you know, I think it's really more than that than fishing pressure.
People don't know fishing pressure until they travel away from here.
You got that right. Go to Texas.
Go to Texas, go to Alabama, go to Tennessee.
Texas, average tournament in Texas got 400 boats in it.
Yeah,
Boy.
I mean, it's just crazy. But did anybody see the sacks that was weighed in at Jordan Lake this weekend?
yeah, Bo Adams. I know Bo, and you know he did that last year too.
Did he really?
Oh yeah, I think it was 40 pounds last year. I can't remember.
I seen somebody had 38 and 35 was second.
Have you ever fished Jordan?
Yes, sir. A lot.
They got a different kind of bass.
Yep.
I mean, it's short, it's fat.
My wife graduated from Carolina.
Yeah.
When she was in school up there, I'd go up there and see her, and I always took my boat with me every time I went. She'd go to class, I'd go fishing.
Oh, that place. I mean, it's got some of the, I guess you call it unique, prettiest bass you ever seen.
Hey, do you want to address this right here?
Jonathan Glenn Phillips.
Yeah, I did let the NF, what is it?
MPFL.
Yeah,
The
them
alphabet,
two.
the alphabet people.
MPFL. I did let them fish, but what Jonathan don't realize is I got 24 divisions, so it just doesn't affect one of those trails, you know. But I know the guys that just started fishing the MPFL. Most of them up there, the guys don't care. See, Jonathan probably don't know that because most people don't. They don't look at rules. But I did. I did make it where they could fish. I don't think it's that big deal in certain places. It's not. Like Lake Norman, they don't care if y'all fish. You know,
I would hope not.
Some people got something to say about it, but you know, in reality, there's a lot of people that fish a lot more than the pros do.
You know, it's like you and I have had this discussion many times,
Yeah.
and it's like I've told you, I fish less around home
Yeah.
now than I ever have,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I still like to go out here and compete against everybody and have a good time, and I lose and I win. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's just part of it.
Yeah, most, you know, I don't know. It's just a crazy thing. It'd be something else after that, though. But you know, you just like I said, when I see, I mean, I'm in 3 states, and it just depends. Different divisions they're just different. But I try to have a set of rules all the way across. And this year I made it where y'all could fish Norman.
But let me ask you this: can you fish Norman? We can fish Norman. Can you fish Championship?
Well, I'm gonna have just the same thing on Norman.
What are you talking about?
The Phantom, it's $10,000. The same thing as championship.
Can I fish the Phantom?
Yeah, it's on
Okay.
Norman.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's on Norman and Wiley, y'all can fish.
When is that champion? When is that
December
Phantom?
the 2nd and 3rd.
What's that?
December the 2nd and 3rd.
December 2nd, and 3rd.
Yeah, which has always been a good fishing weekend.
Dude, that's a great time. I'm just going to tell you, there's not a bad time to go to Lake Norman. Well, I'll take that back. The summertime on Lake Norman, I don't want no part of. I go carp fishing personally.
We'll let you dig into that
What
one.
does it say? That's right, Chris Marshall. You're exactly right. My money spends the same. But I welcome you to come anytime you would like, sir. What the world is Pug talking about?
Yeah.
He's talking about the alphabet people. Can they fish at CBC?
Oh no, they can't fish CBC. See, they know that. He knows that.
He knows, but
He knows that.
he's gonna get his dig in on you.
He's
Oh,
trying.
right.
He's trying to stir the pot.
I know. Well, you know, they don't hurt the ass, does it?
Nope. All we can do is tell you no.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Chris, why were you not at Murray this weekend?
They must not be biting the jig.
I don't know. Jody was in the top. Wasn't he in the top 10? Top 12?
Yeah. Yeah. I've even heard people last year complain about Murray. It fell way off.
I don't know. It seemed to be okay this year.
Well, it's just, when the herrings start roaming around, the bass roam around.
That's right.
Alewives the same way.
Go ask the striper guys what's out there with the stripers. They
Yeah.
constantly telling me, man, we caught 10 stripers and 3 bass. 3 bass, 5 pounds out there. They out there chasing them.
They in that bait.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many catfishermen tell me about fish they catch out here
Same thing at Watery. On cut bait.
on cut bait, dragging
Yeah.
26, 28, 30 foot deep in a 6-pounder.
Catch a big largemouth.
I've gotten multiple pictures of cut white perch 6-pounder. When are you gonna start letting us fish with bait?
Golly.
That would be fun to do just one time.
Let me
Have
tell
a
you.
live bait largemouth
I
tournament.
run,
That'd be fun.
I run a catfish trail for 2 years. And holy moly.
There's more drama in that than
I
our bass
guarantee
fishing.
you.
They'd tell me somebody was using crappie. I was like, well, I don't know how to prove that. It's just always one thing after another. You
Well,
can
some
use certain
states
bait.
you're allowed. Some states you're allowed to use like a cut bluegill or
Yeah.
cut crab. You can do that.
The first catfish tournament I ran, I got there and the parking lot was full, but there was nobody there. And an hour before blast off, here they come driving up on the lake. I didn't know they would go out there and catch bait before the tournament.
Yeah.
What have y'all been doing? They'd already been out there 2 hours.
We got them tied up.
Yeah. But they caught a bunch of catfish back then. Even the catfishes fell off at Watery. I don't know.
Is it that it's fallen off, or is it that lake is going through some stuff with the low water and
Yeah,
people
I
haven't
think
adjusted to
That's
it?
what it is. Yeah, I mean, that's what I think a lot of it is. I mean, it took 21 pounds the other day down there. And when the grass was really crazy, of course it was way better. But
We've proven anywhere there's grass is going to be way better.
yeah, well, Watery's changing. More and more people are buying places there that don't fish, and they're pulling up the grass. Some people are spraying the grass. So there's
See,
places the grass is disappearing.
They ought to get them people for doing that mess.
The craziest thing I saw when the water was down one year, a guy took a little bobcat and he just scooped all the grass out around his retaining wall. And when the water come up, his retaining wall fell in.
Goody. That's what it gets.
You know what that is?
That's what it gets.
Yeah.
Ding dong.
Well,
Dave Calvert, where'd they bite pretty good at Saturday?
They be good out here Saturday at Wiley.
Hey, what about that tournament? Can you double dip? Can
yeah.
can pros fish that one?
No, I don't let anybody fish the Santee.
Oh.
Yeah, you got
I said
you got all them guys, Brent Riley,
Oh, they
all
fish.
that whole bunch down there. They can fish and they guide on the lake, but I can't go down there and fish. I go 3 times a year.
Yeah,
That makes no sense.
I know.
Just saying.
Yeah, I'm just trying to tease y'all with the normal thing.
But see, I like to go. I'm gonna tell you right now, I fished all over the place, and Lake Murray is my favorite place to go. Period. I mean, it's just got the, in my opinion, it's got the best fishing in the southeast. Santee, when it's on, you can't beat it.
Yeah,
But as far as overall, I think Murray's better. Obviously, the fish aren't quite as big, but still, yet Santee, you got like a 6-week window there where it's phenomenal. Murray, I think, is good all the time.
I think you're getting ready to walk into that 6-week window.
Absolutely.
At Santee.
Absolutely.
David Etchers, he's the one that had 20.
I'm aware.
uh,
I'm aware. Round man's still at it.
I think Pug's talking about Murray.
We ain't worried about Pug. We don't pay him no
Oh, okay.
attention.
Yeah.
He's turned into one of them live scope gurus.
Oh, is he? Where you go to cut on TV and all you see is the back of the guy?
That's right.
Yeah.
It's hard to
With
watch.
his head bent
With
over.
his head bent down. I mean, it is hard to watch on TV.
Don't know a thing about fishing.
Oh,
That's what I tell him.
boy.
I'm fixing to open up that can of worms. I don't care.
You know what? It's never mind. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I've already made enough people mad.
I don't think I made anybody mad today. I need to
You're
go ahead.
due.
I need to go ahead.
You're due.
Well, I will tell you, I've had a few people tell me that fished with people that was good with the live scope. As a teammate, it ain't fun.
No.
They said it's like fishing bed fishing 20 foot of water.
Well, the thing about that deal is, it's part of fishing right now.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like the Alabama rig. It's always going to be there from now on. But I
it will
think
phase.
I think you're going to see it fade out. Let me rephrase. I shouldn't say fade out. I think it's going to be not as big a player as it is right now.
Yeah. I really think the Alabama rig has dropped way off.
Oh, it
It
has.
has.
People lie now. They'll tell you they caught them on an Alabama rig just to tell you that.
Oh yeah.
And I know some of them not lying.
I'm going to tell you for a fact around here, at least on this lake. Yeah, I still catch fish on a rig, but you got to get creative.
Oh, it was
You-
crazy when it first come out.
No,
Plumb stupid.
you had to throw it or you was gonna get beat by it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't matter what lake you went to.
Eric Lingerfelt. Have any of y'all fished kiwi?
Only on purpose, just a couple times.
No, I've never been out there. There's some tournaments out there where some big fish waiting.
Only,
Yeah.
only for a tournament.
I'm
That's
gonna tell you something about kiwi. You want to talk about a place that's got some big spotted bass in it? It's got them, some big ones.
Yeah.
But they catch them like 80 feet deep.
Yeah, I'm lost.
Tim Kelly. You might get your opportunity at a little bit of redemption. I think I'm going to show up at the Santee CBC. So
Uh-oh.
I hope you're there.
Be careful what you wish for.
Listen. Like I said earlier today to a special little individual, I can take one as easy as I can give one.
Did y'all ever know why Santee still got standing timber?
I always heard it was because of the war.
It was my wife's grandfather was a logger, and he lived in it wasn't Santee. It's another little town right down there. But they cleared out Moultrie, and I don't know if you remember this, but years ago you could go down to Santee and there would be bundles of logs floating up,
Mm-mm.
and he said that's where they were logging, and the war started, and they took cables and every log they had cut, they wrapped it and tied it down, and they left. And they didn't get to cut it all down. They flooded. But for years, you could see certain places where there was logs floating up that were tied together.
Really?
Yeah, but all that was years ago. But that's why the lake never got cleared out. World War II started, took off.
I did hear that. I did hear that in something I was
Yeah.
wrapped up in.
I can tell you something. It's crazy, though. That lower lake down there, it's amazing how much water's there, and there's absolutely no cover. The bottom's as slick as this table.
Oh, yeah. Or grass carp or whatever.
There's just nothing there
I think that's really hard.
other than the brush piles that all them guys down there put out
Well, you know they're going to build that new landing down
at Panopolis.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I wonder what the wind's going to do to that.
Boy, what you talking about? If I'm not exactly sure where it's going to go, but I heard it was going to be right at the mouth of Panopolis. If that wind blows out of the north, holy cow!
Yeah, it'd be tough to get
Which
back.
which we all know that it'll do February, March.
Yeah.
No.
But other than that, I don't know. I can tell you I got 45 tournaments this month
This month?
with Cat.
Good Lord.
Yeah, see,
Can
I
an
have-
old slow
I
center
have a
come-
list I keep up with every week. I do that this week, then I jump on that next week so I can keep up with it. I start the Potomac River this year.
Oh Lord.
And I'm talking about wind, but I don't know much about that. But yeah, I got 11, 12 tournaments some weekend somewhere. And if y'all want to know, some people said, oh, you starting all this. If you want to know the truth, the way most of this started, when I started, I did Wateree and Wiley. I come to Wiley second because of Pig Jones. Come down there and said, come up to Wiley, let's do this. So I went up to Wiley. Then I went to Murray. And then later Santee. And then over the years, I just kept it like that for like 2000 to 2008. And people would move somewhere. And they say, I'm going to run your trail up here. Well, that's how it spread around. I didn't really call anybody. I mean, I don't know anybody. I didn't know anybody in some of these places. And that's how it all got spread around, to be honest with you.
That's
how
good though.
Yeah, that's how the Potomac started. A guy used to live down here, moved up there. So that's just how it
He
spread
figured
from-
if he couldn't beat him, he was going to run the tournaments.
Then I'm like
Yeah.
I'm like anybody else. And the first thing I think about, ain't there a lot of tournaments up there already? But seems like sometimes it works anyway.
That's all that matters. You know how it is, man. You give people something good to fish, and it's ran good, and you take care of them, and there ain't a whole lot of crap goes on. You're gonna get people to come to it.
Yeah, and over the years, there's things I know that I've been right, or just like when you give somebody the wrong amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
It happens.
tough. I don't say nothing.
Yeah, it
That'll leave
happens.
a bad taste in your mouth if you call them and say, "Hey, I need that back." That happens sometimes, but
Yeah.
Yeah, Ronnie Mueller, you gotta watch out for them kayakers. And until DNR rewrites the laws on them, they can get away with murder.
What you mean?
No lights.
No lights.
They don't have to have a light. If it's
How
not
do
over,
they? How do they not have a light? I thought all watercraft had to have a bow and a stern light.
if it's under a certain length, I can't remember if it's
Well, a lot of them
14
things are
foot.
a lot of them things are 14 feet long. I know a jet ski. I've seen them get pulled over before.
Well, that's a power boat.
You'd think a canoe would have to have something too.
I'm
They
telling
don't. Maybe they do have to have a light now, but I'm telling you, I've seen it out here. About run them over.
Oh, I about splattered them at Lake Norman at night before. You going along and all of a sudden you catch a silhouette.
And yep,
I mean, you're running 60 miles an hour and you see a silhouette out there in front of you, and it takes you a minute. 'Cause
you
you're
have
like,
a
"What?
split second
What
to
is
make
that?
a decision.
What is that?" And then there's somebody in a kayak out in the middle of the lake with no lights on. I mean, that's pretty much a death wish, I think. But
Yeah, I think Robin was with me one night. I literally just about killed somebody in Nivens Creek coming around the bend. I heard water hit plastic. That's how close it was.
Oh,
Ooh.
Lord.
And I stopped, tried to look, see, called out. Nobody said anything, and who knows? Yes, Dave Ferguson, you are correct.
Well, any kind of fishing is just off the chain right now. Everybody's got boats. You know, the kayak thing has really picked up in popularity.
dude, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, like I seen somebody who was that Ronnie Mueller said they had 180 something boats
Yeah.
at Murray, or kayaks, whatever. I don't know what they call
Water
them. things.
lice. Water lice.
Okay, now David, be nice.
In the high school, the college, I mean, it's just so much now. You really can't dodge everything. There's just no way.
No, you can't.
You know, and you try to, but there's no way. It's impossible.
Yep.
Matter of fact, a couple of us kayakers have bought boats, and they jumped in the CBC this weekend.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I don't know that it ended well for any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shane, you want to give a shout out to Robin and Emma for
Yeah,
winning
sure.
Saturday?
Congratulations to Robin and Emma Carrico for winning the XL out here Saturday. They had 1480, I think is what they had. They beat me and my dad. We had 1430. But I can tell you this. We had a ball.
tell you.
We whacked them suckers. It was a good time. If I'm going to lose to somebody, I just as soon as it be Robin's daughter. I don't really like losing to Robin. But his daughter, hey, man, she had a good time. She's out there with her dad. You can't beat that.
You got a cat out here this weekend, don't you?
Yeah.
Yep, spring cat number 2.
I'll tell you another thing, talking about how everything's popular. People don't think about this. Try to get a polygraph test. There's only so many polygraph guys.
You right about
You know, I have
that.
people say, "Why didn't you have a polygraph?" There's only so many polygraph guys. they work in every single week.
Did you
everywhere.
polygraph the CBC this weekend?
Yeah. Yeah,
All the
trust-
CBCs get
Yeah,
polygraphed.
trust me, I got some that I line up a year or two ahead.
Yeah.
You know, I said I got to have you this. You know, well, I don't give them an exact date. I just lock them in to like the Cat Championship, some of the Phantom stuff, and all the CBCs because I got to have a polygraph. And I got a good guy that agrees to all that. But if you want to get a polygraph about a month out, you might as well forget it.
Ain't happening.
No, you're not going to find anybody. There's no way to get a polygraph.
Maybe that's what we need to do. We need to become. What are those things called? What are they called?
I like
What are they
the
called, Brett?
What the
The guy that gives a
examiner?
polygraph.
Polygraph examiner.
Okay, maybe that's what we need
consequences. I like what you said. If you fail,
to do. No, we can't repeat that.
I
That's
remember
bad.
there was one years ago with the NBC Trail. He'd drive up in his Winnebago, and if you ever won anything, the first thing he would ask you, not hooked up, was where you caught your fish, because he fished. He'd always ask you that.
Man, I'll tell
in the
you,
mouth.
He wanted to know.
I've been the worst polygraph I ever seen. My dad and I won the Carolina Eagles tournament out here when it was in May. And we came in, and I told Daddy, I said, I had to catch all the fish. You taking the polygraph. They took him and put him in an enclosed trailer, and I kid you not, it was 95 degrees. He come out wringing wet. He said, I don't care. I ain't never doing that again.
Listen, worst one I ever experienced was out here on a Thursday night or we happened to win. Had to get in the front seat of a Honda Accord. That sucker had more, that sucker had more paper shoved in the visor. It was like he was sleeping in the car. I'm sitting there with my knees to my chest in the front seat, and he puts these wires around me. And I'm sitting there, and it's just awful, terrible.
Yeah.
And then I got done. He said, "You don't need to be so hard on yourself." Like, dude, you shoved me in the front seat of a car, beat me with a wet noodle, and expect me not to.
Yeah.
Well, over the years doing polygraphs for people, I mean, I've run into some things. You know, you want to make sure everybody was on the up and up. But I wanted to years ago did a polygraph. This guy and his partner won. They never really won the whole lot, and they won. You could tell they were happy and all that. And I said, "Well, got the polygraph guy right over." He said, "Oh God." He said, "I'm gonna be honest. I broke a rule." I said, "What'd you do?" He said, "We were vote 78, and we missed our spot. And when you called 80, we come around behind." And I said, "I'm 78." I said, "That's not breaking a rule." He said, I thought we broke a rule." I said, "If anything, you left late." I mean,
Yeah.
He just got out of line.
Gave him a head start.
Yeah, I said no, but he really thought he had screwed up.
Have you?
The worst thing I ever had like that, we won the Dogwood tournament at Norman one year, and they had a woman that gave us a voice stress test.
Oh, that's the worst thing to do.
Have you ever tried doing that?
No, I was at a tournament. It happened one time, and the guy that took it was like, "Crap."
Yeah.
He said, "That's different than a polygraph."
Yeah, I took that thing, and the lady's like, "You almost failed." I said, "What do you mean, almost failed?" I said, "Are we on a point deduction scale here or what?"
Yeah.
I mean, nah, this thing here, you either pass or you fail.
Well, years ago when everybody's first fishing, I mean, it was a big game, and I'm sure when you first started too. I mean, how many times in the summer, and I know you did this, you'd find fish on the spot, and you'd go to the other side of the creek, look around, nobody was coming, you'd run over there and catch a couple of fish, then go back to the other side of the creek.
Mm-hmm.
We used to do that at Watery when the fish were on the points, and this bit me. I hooked the fish and was taking it off, and a guy drove up. It was really good on Watery. I put a black and blue jig in that fish's mouth. And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, they're biting that black and blue jig out here on these points." But I really caught it on a DD-22 when they first come out. Well, that boy kicked our tail.
On a black and blue jig,
Well, I
didn't
didn't know that till he won a BFL, and the guy that was with him said, all he did was drag a black and blue jig all day long.
Got him.
I know where that come from. Yeah, sometimes you can tell one, and it'll work out for other people.
Yeah.
No. So Anthony Burton wants to know if you've ever had any fail.
I've had them fail. I've had inconclusive, where they couldn't really.
Tell if they lied or not.
Yeah, they didn't pass. They didn't fail. But I'm gonna be honest with you. The ones that, and I'm not gonna. Of course, I'm not gonna.
No, we don't want to.
No, the ones that really did something, they got mad before they took the polygraph and wouldn't take it.
Right.
Over the years, that's happened 3 or 4 times. Well, I just won't fish anymore if you don't want me to fish. That's what they would say, something like that.
Okay. Well,
So-
I'd rather you not.
Hey, I'd rather you not fish anymore. You just don't ever know. I tell you the craziest thing, and I can tell this because this was weird. I thought I'm coming around the corner, and 2 guys that was fishing was out on the bank. A brand new Triton was up in the yard. Well, I thought, they might have fish in that live well. So I asked them what they were doing, and they told me they were just looking. Well, after they left, I looked. The live well was dry. That was in November. In April, I saw the pictures on TV. They were taking bass boats out of people's yards.
What?
So they were probably up there checking the lock on that boat.
Golly.
Yeah. So you never know what you're gonna run into out there on the water. Yeah, they wasn't cheating.
No, they were a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they're doing something even better. But
They were
the
casing a joint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So Brett, you run a lot of tournaments. There was a rule question came up today. I know in your tournaments there's no dead fish, right?
Yeah, we weigh dead fish.
You weigh dead. Okay, so you weigh a dead fish. So
That wasn't a real question, though.
no, I know, but it's leading into the rule question of culling a dead fish.
Well, I hadn't got it in the rules, and I know what the state law is, but
Which is?
you're not supposed to cull a dead fish.
That's what I thought.
Well, tell me how you prove that. I've seen people throw back fish that wasn't dead, but they were dead.
They were going to die.
They were not going to live.
Hey, I've done that in BASS events. You can't cull a dead fish, but if that son of a gun's gill moves and I think I'm better off to cull him, I've chunked him back. He ain't technically dead.
Yeah, that's right. It's just like I've had people help me before, and people would come up and weigh a fish, and I stick my finger in there, and it would clench down. They'd say, "Well, he's dead." No, he ain't dead.
Yep.
He's gonna die.
He's
Yeah, I
gonna
know
die.
Well, I
He's
tell you
not
what,
dead now.
That's
I got one buying at frog tournament down at Watery. I had one about 1 o'clock. That fish was not looking good, and I got to weigh in. I threw the fish up there and pulling him out of live well. It was questionable. I'll be honest, it was questionable, but I'll try it anyway. Took it over there, and that fin went just like that. And Lee happened to catch it. 2 other guys standing there caught it, and they weighed that fish. By the time it got back to the water, stone cold.
Yeah, that's happened a lot too. I mean, if you get caught by a game warden, it comes up and says, I mean, that's a different situation, but it's just like over the years, I've had, when they first come out with the Mustang
The
live vest,
blow up fly
holy
vest.
crap. Y'all just don't know. Every tournament, I saw so-and-so with no life jacket on. Well, he had the belt thing. Well, it's Coast Guard approved. It's just...
So, technically, if you have the inflatable life jacket and it's in the boat and it's not on your body,
Oh, yeah, you're supposed to have it on.
it doesn't
don't count.
It does not count. So if you show up to a CBC and you're fishing and you take it off, the minute you take it off, it's not a legal life
No,
jacket.
you better have, because I'm just telling you from experience, if you do that and you don't have
They will ring
a
you.
real life jacket in the boat,
They will ring
they
you.
will get your butt for not having enough life jackets.
Really?
Yes, they will.
They do something like
Yes, sir.
No, I mean, here's the thing. We're all splitting hairs at this point, and there's a lot of times, a lot of things we've seen or heard that you look back on, it's like, man, how did that fly?
that? Yeah. Yeah, I think now, you're talking about Lake Murray. I remember I used to, and this is totally different, but how to, payouts now are crazy. Think about it. But, years ago, you didn't fish for money like you fish for it now, locally.
No.
I can remember going over to Murray with 150 boats, paying $70. First place was $1,000.
And
Where
thought that
direct-
was good.
And we were like, yeah.
Where'd the rest of the money go?
I don't know. But it was mostly ran by clubs. But that was the truth. First place was $1,000.
Well, a lot of people used to do it to make money. I know when I was club fishing, we put on 2 tournaments a year
Well, that's what they did.
to make money. To what we did every year is we went to Santee every year in March,
Yeah.
and the club paid for everything.
Yeah.
Paid for your gas, paid for your room, paid for your food, did everything, and we paid for it by putting on them couple tournaments.
Well, that's like me now. If I ever go fishing, when I do go fishing, I just go fishing. I don't care how many boats,
Yeah,
and what they're keeping or what they're paying. I just want to go fish. But I guess if you're fishing all the time, you got to look at it a little different.
yeah, oh yeah. Especially now, gas $3.50 a gallon.
Yeah, I know.
Or more. If you buy non-ethanol, $3.93.
I ain't doing that.
I run enough through my boat.
I
I'll
was gonna
take the
say,
chances.
The gas don't stay in my boat long enough to have a chance to go bad.
So are you going to get to fish at all this year?
Yeah, I used to fish in May and through May. I start around May and fish up to the fall.
I got
See,
you.
it's just like the other day. Somebody,
Dan the man coming in clutch.
people say things before they even look. Like I had a guy the other day tell me, said, you do a lot of tournaments on Watery in the summer. Well, I actually, from July, the 1st of July through the end of November, I did 9. So, I mean, he just thinks it's a lot.
Yeah.
He was trying to say that's what's
Wrong with the fish?
Yeah, and I'm like, we got 15, 20 boats, and half of them don't weigh in. No, that's not what's not
No,
wrong
no,
with fish.
that's
Listen, you got like 10 weeks in a row down there.
Well, we've always done that summer. What people don't realize is when I started at Wateree, there was 2 tournaments, and that's where I started at. And it didn't really wasn't my decision. People wanted to fish every weekend back then. They started fishing.
Heck
And,
yeah.
But now, another thing about Wateree, a guy the other day said, I don't even know who he was, talking about all the tournaments I had on Wateree. I said, Wateree don't have no pressure on. He said, yeah, it does. I said, no, it don't. I said, we don't have night tournaments. We don't have weekday tournaments. We don't have Sunday tournaments. From the end of November, well, the third week of November to the 1st of February, there's no tournaments. I mean,
Just striper fishing.
yeah. And there's no Toys for Tots now. There's no Tri-State. There's no Red Fox that had 200 boats sometime. There was a Lake Wateree Open. That's not there no more. There's hardly ever a BFL.
Yeah.
There's Fishers of Men's not on the lake anymore. I mean, there's so much stuff that's not there anymore. But there's the high school stuff, and there's me and a CBC. And the
Yeah.
little club tournaments and stuff, when people see bass boats on a lake, you know, they think, God, there's a big tournament today. And there may not be just a club tournament. It's just people fishing. They don't realize how many people bought boats now.
Oh, God, it's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, they always say there was a big tournament. Well, maybe there wasn't. But you know what? If Brett Collins quits tomorrow, there's going to be somebody else going to run tournaments.
Oh, absolutely.
Because guys have bought a boat. They want to fish. You know, that's just all it is to it.
That's it. And it's fishing right now is very, very popular. It has been.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, when the whole COVID thing started, everybody started fishing.
Everybody.
Because there was nothing else you could do. They took concerts away. They took movies away. Took soccer games, football. All that went away. What else is there to do? Sit at the house and look at each other? It gets old. I
Well-
love my wife, but I got to go every now and again.
Well, think about all the people you meet through fishing. And I know when you're traveling and you're around guys a lot more time, but just think I might see you 15 minutes in
Yeah.
the morning and 30 minutes in the afternoon. And over the years, I'll know how many children you got. You know where you live. You learn everything.
Oh, yeah.
Fishing's just a different type of sport. You know, everybody likes to sit around and talk a little bit.
I know some of them tournaments of water, y'all don't leave down there till after dark, some of them guys.
Yeah, some of them stay too long. I had to come home. Yeah,
I
they
mean, you
never
got
get-
guys down there like Alan Fletcher, just a little bit on the full crap side.
Oh Lord, y'all just don't know the stories we've heard.
Oh, Benfield.
He started.
Yeah.
He started coming up fishing the winter trail with us this year.
Who,
He-
Alan?
Alan
Well, that's what
Tanner.
I'm saying. That was the one
Yeah.
I was telling you. Said it's so much fun.
Yeah. Well, we had a
Yeah.
ball up there.
I think they did cash
they
a
fun,
check.
They fun to hang out with
Oh,
too.
yeah,
They
Fletcher.
like to they like to talk trash and have a good time, and I'm all about that.
Man, there's nobody like Alan Fletcher. I mean, he is hilarious.
Dylan Folk, you make one more comment like that, I'll probably delete you.
What does it say?
He stopped fishing during COVID. It's too scary out there, man. Stay safe and wear a mask.
Dylan folks full of crap's what he is.
He must have gotten into the gummy bears a little early tonight.
Old Cookie's on there. He said, "Hey, Brett."
Yep. Oh,
I
damn.
know he's talking to you.
That's right.
What did it say about Hartwell? Go back up.
I didn't see. Oh,
Hartwell
Hartwell's a lot of fun to fish.
Hartwell is a lot of fun to fish. So what's this? The Phantom. What is your schedule for the Phantom? You got that over there? Is that this all?
I do. I got it up
Well,
here.
let me see.
You got the next 2 months. Let me go get the schedule for you.
Yeah, go get it because I just got 3 on here. And most of those, we just about pay back all the money. I pay to help to go do it. It's just cause the Phantom people, they help me out pretty good. And,
Yeah, that's a good bunch of people down
yeah,
there.
and they do a lot of things.
I've got to meet Chad. Met Chad through Pug a couple times.
Yeah, but one of the first things they'll say to you, need anything? They always accommodate.
Well, that's good though. You know it's good to have people like that.
And I'll tell you something, I bought something because of you,
Cause of me.
that Champion generator.
Yeah.
And I used that thing up there at Hartwell for 2 or 3 days. And that is the quietest. I mean, it's just as quiet can be.
You like it?
Oh yeah, it's
Good.
nice. Yeah.
You didn't give it to me.
Good.
You gave me the flyer for April, for
Yeah.
Wiley. April, 16th, I want to say it was.
Well, there's one March 19th at the James River, and there's one March 19th at Gaston. And Then I got one at Murray, March the 26th, and I think when's Wiley?
It's 16th of April, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's a week before the CBC.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of them. And like I said, I'm gonna do that 2-day. You can actually fish the 2-day at Norman, even fishing 2 cat tournaments. You ain't got to fish just phantoms. You can do that. And one reason I want I got the 2-day championship at Kerr. I'm trying to get something down closer down here.
Yeah.
Without doing away with Kerr.
I wish you would get that back down here.
Well, that's
closer.
well, the Phantom is the same format, everything.
I know, but it doesn't pay 25,000.
Oh, it will too. If people will fish, the same thing. It's the same format. Let me tell you, when I went up to Kerr that time and they said, let's do a higher side pot, and that's why we did the 100, the 50, and the 25. And well, I forgot how many boats we had the first time, 170. And when I counted it up, there was $13,000 just in the $100 side pot. And I didn't think anybody, but I thought we'd have to, $2,000-3,000.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same deal, and we paid that back 3 places, and that was when Roger and Scott won the first year. But yeah, that's what I could try to do at Norman. We'll have it there every year. I don't mind having it there every year. See, guys here in South Carolina come up to Norman.
Yeah.
They'll come fish.
Oh yeah.
So maybe we can get a good crowd at that.
You misspelled Dylan's name on his oversized check.
He won. Him and Adam Waters won a CBC championship.
I think he'd probably lie about that. Come on.
What do you think about?
I'll show you what it needs to look like when we get done here. So the what was I talking about? Oh, the Phantom tournaments.
Sorry, that's a little side note.
But yeah, I'd love to have a good crowd up there. I mean, Anthony loves to do it, and that'd be there right there with him. And
I think you should make it mandatory for all of your tournament directors to handle posting the results and promoting the tournaments.
oh, it's hard to do. You just don't know.
I know it is, but
Let me tell you, today I posted the Noose River.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about directors.
Oh, they can't
You're-
do it.
The Noose River.
Yeah, I started the Noose River last weekend.
Oh my God.
Oh, who?
Damn, you talking about some of the prettiest fish?
That's
I
got.
mean, they look like they painted.
Thing about that place is it'll be phenomenal for about 2 years. Then they'll get a hurricane and kill them all.
Yeah.
Suck them out into the ocean.
Look at those bass. Look at that. I mean, that's like somebody painted it. It's like they're mounted.
Pretty.
Yeah, that's 8.5 and 7.
There's some giants in
Oh,
there.
and look at the guy that won. He had won almost 9.
Wait till about October. You'll have a live well full of them and a live well full of redfish.
Yeah, that's what they were telling me too. But yeah, I mean, he had almost 30 boats for the first
Let
time.
me see the results from that thing. Let me see.
Yeah, he had
Brett, there's a question on there for you. You want to know why you swapped Hartwell for Wiley?
Are you talking about CBC?
That's what I'm assuming. Jared Farr, you talking about CBC?
I can tell you exactly why.
Is the is the rumor? No, I'm not even gonna start that.
Go ahead. We'll start from rumors.
Is the rumor that the championship, the CBC championship's gonna be at Wiley since it's North Carolina this year?
Yes, that's what it's.
I could tell you if I did.
That's what he's talking about. Why did you swap CBC? David,
Yeah. I'm
things
trying
like-
to
it's
hear
not.
CBC.
It's not updating.
Yes.
Oh, because there was no date at Hartwell.
No,
Everything's full.
Listen.
Hartwell is covered. You talking about some tournaments? You need to try to get something on Hartwell.
Oh yeah.
Neil
Well,
Paul.
you know why?
Neil Paul's run that.
Neil Paul is. I can say this for Neil Paul. He is doing everything he can to draw attention to Anderson.
Yeah,
That's his job,
yeah, and he's doing it.
and he's doing a heck of a job
We
at it.
got the what is it the Palmetto thing up there and the Skeeter Bass Challenge from Boating Atlanta. I mean, and now that Five Alive thing.
Yeah,
is
that
pretty
5 Alive
big.
was getting pretty big.
Yes, I mean, it's hard to find a date.
And we got our local county council stopping their funding for their tourism board because they don't want tourism. That's what we're dealing with.
You know why that is?
Well,
Because most of
I could say it, but
Well-
I'm not gonna.
Okay, well I won't either then.
I'm just saying. I'm not.
Are we ever gonna take a championship back to bugs?
Chris don't like bugs.
I don't know why.
He does. You know,
He
'cause
won a
wanna
bunch
be
of money
good.
up there.
Yeah. Well, that's-
Chris is just one of them. He just wants to sit around and complain. He ain't gonna
Yeah.
go fishing. He ain't gonna do nothing but play golf.
yeah.
Actually,
See, I'm trying to suck him into coming to Norman.
Anthony Burton, you sir are wrong. Wiley is predominantly in North Carolina. There is more lake in North Carolina than there is South Carolina.
Big terminal on Parkville next
And there's
week. I forget the name.
There's MPL.
The alphabet person.
Yeah.
The alphabet person.
Yeah, it's on there.
Which he said something about wanting to challenge at the belt.
Did he?
He said something about it.
Oh.
I don't know that he could take. I don't know that he could take another one on the chin after this weekend.
I don't know. I ain't getting on him about that. If that happens.
No, it does. I'm not gonna mess with him. I like Pug,
He's a little.
even though I have to wonder about him sometimes.
I think he gets offended pretty easy.
Does he? No,
He does.
he's not
He's
sensitive.
sensitive. Yeah.
Is he sensitive?
Oh yeah.
Man,
Hmm.
I really never mind. I think I need to have a side end cap over here with Tampax and Midol for all these fishermen. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Mm,
And Norman gets old.
it does.
It don't ever go. Just like you. You don't go.
What are you
either.
talking about? I went up there this weekend.
Yeah, one time.
I've been up there several times.
Okay.
Maybe several with you.
Whatever.
Norman is better than Wiley. Well,
Is it?
Yes.
It is. I'll give you that.
It's. I never thought I'd have lived to see the day that I would say that
It's pretty
Norman was
pitiful.
better than Wiley, but yeah, it is.
I don't know. You came down here off the cuff and caught 14 and some change.
With a 5-pounder.
Well,
With a 5-pounder. I caught a unicorn.
I hadn't seen one of those
But it was fun.
since I haven't seen a 5-pounder at Wiley since October in the Federation.
The only thing I cared about is I brought my dad down here and we had a good time. That's
good.
all that mattered.
That's good.
you know something I've been wanting to do for years? You know, a lot of people think there's a lot of competition with tournament directors or trails, but you know, there's really not. I mean, there is, but there's not.
Right.
Me and some other ones talked about it. It's like take the top 5 teams of each trail or whatever and have a big shindig together. All the trail guys come there that run the trail and have just a good time with
Top 5 in each
it.
division.
It can be top 10, whatever, however we figure out how to do it. Say you got the A, B, C, D, F, you got 20 trails and you get 10, you got 200 people fishing and all of us throw in a little bit of cash and
Yeah.
it
That's
just-
a good idea.
And they come too. It's not the cat trail.
Right.
It's all of us.
It's just
And,
yeah, but how would you do it with the cat trail? You got how many different divisions fishing?
Just 24.
There's 24. So
I'd
you
have to
take your
figure that
top-
out some way.
Top 3 or top 4 out of each division?
Or might just have to figure it a percentage or something. I don't know, but that would be something kind of cool to do. And
There's a legitimate question.
That's probably the smartest question.
That's a
posed.
legitimate question right there.
Would a high stakes national team trail work, in your opinion, as a tournament director?
it depends on where he's talking about going.
Well, it says national.
National.
Holy crap! Well, I mean, it's so much work. I mean, you can't have a job. I was working.
When do you
full-
retire?
I'll be 67 now. That's 5 years because insurance is a big thing.
God, ain't it?
But I mean, I actually went back. I was working full time the last 2 years at UPS, and I went back to part time. So I'm off every day at 12 o'clock, but I'm going to work at 6. But anyway, it's just part time. But at Christmas, everybody's full time again. So you know, now like Friday, I carried the trailer up to Norman, went back home, come back at 2 o'clock in the morning with the boat. I mean, just imagine it's hard to find somebody that's going to give up their weekend to help run tournaments.
You
It's just
got that
hard.
right.
I mean, somebody like Anthony is out of the ordinary. I mean, Anthony will do anything and everything. I've
Yeah.
had Anthony come down to the house and get the trailer at night before tournament. Drive 3 hours. I mean, it's the stuff he does. You know, you just I'll find. You know, some of the things he does for me.
Well, you know, Jerry Ryan ran the Fisherman's Bass circuit for a long time,
Yeah,
and I don't think he went national, but he was all over the Southeast,
all over.
and they had some really, really big tournaments in that deal.
Texas Team Trail and Alabama Bass.
Alabama. I'm gonna tell you right now, the Alabama Bass Trail. This is something you should look at. Ain't no joke. Have you seen what they're doing? They got the ABT Top 100.
That's
They
a
have-
high stakes tournament.
Not really.
1,500.
No, it's 1,000. They got 3 tournaments. You got to sign up for all of them. It's only 100 boats. Entry fee's $1,000. It's 3 tournaments.
Yeah.
They got a waiting list 42 miles long.
That's
People trying to get on it. Pays $25,000 to win.
Buddy of mine and I were talking about doing it, and I said, yeah, let's look at it. He said within the first 15 minutes of them releasing it, it was full.
Yeah, the Alabama Bass Trail's crazy. I mean,
And now, before this goes any further, there ain't no rules against who can fish. It don't
Yeah.
matter. As long as you got $1,000, you can fish.
And Marcus Church, I'm going to back up here. This is complete off topic. Tim Kelly, I'm going to get to you in a second. Marcus Church, I'm a hard pass on a 1v1 at Kiwi. I've been there before.
Well,
And
he's Marcus,
probably a local.
He's another one of them guys. He's actually from this area, but he lives down there now.
He's probably local and has a little bit better edge on it.
Oh yeah, there in Hartwell, he's pretty solid.
Yeah, I gotta say hard pass.
But he's got some really good deer hunting land, and if it could be arranged to where, like, if I beat you, you got to take me deer hunting, we could probably do that.
I'll video for you. How about that? Tim Kelly wants to know, since you're a watery hammer, what's your prediction for the BFL 2-day in September?
September. Well, I'm gonna fish it, and I'd love to have 12 pounds the first day.
Ooh.
You'd probably love to have 12 pounds combined for both days.
September's going. Wasn't the MLF guys there September this year?
They were.
Was it September?
Yeah, and what, 9 pounds was winning after the first
It was
day?
terrible. I
Yeah.
know that.
It's just tough as all get out. And I hadn't done it in years. Might have to put a brush pile here or there somewhere.
Uh-oh. We got somebody coming out of retirement.
Who that?
You. If you're gonna fish
I'm
a
gonna
2-day,
fish that. Yeah, I'm gonna go fish that. Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all the darndest thing. And
Chris hang on a sec. Chris Marshall, I am no legend. I'm still breathing. I'm not a legend.
This is the honest truth, and I don't know if y'all run into anything like this. And I'm sure you have over years fishing. How you find a weird spot.
Oh yeah.
Cut that off. Y'all know I always took my granddaughter fishing with me here
Mhm.
the past few years. Well, she was 4 years old, and it was in June or July, and she wanted to swim, and I took her in the back of a cove that I'd fished 1,000 times, and I put her out where she could stand up and swim on this side, and the cove was so narrow I could hit the other side. There was a tree laying down, been laying there for years. I've thrown a spinnerbait by it and everything else over the years. It's 5 foot deep. Well, I threw a jig and I didn't quite make it to the tree. And when it went down, I felt something. I said, crap, there's a piece of that tree out there. I never knew it. Caught a 4-pounder. Sat there with her and caught 16 pounds in July, whatever it was, right there in 5 foot of water.
Off the end of the tree.
The next week, me and Andy Owens caught 18 pounds there in 5 foot of water in July.
Off that tree.
Off that tree. And she calls it the log. You ask Fletcher about it. Fletcher's always asking her, where's that log? Well, they're still there. They're just not big. You can still go catch 5 or 6, 7, 8. I'd catch 20 fish there some days.
Sure.
I'd leave and come back.
That's just a place they like to get.
I don't know if it's a little cool stream or whatever, but you can get your jig hung, and if the water was low enough, you go out there and get it loose, you can see it. But those fish would be out in front of that log.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something. Queen better put his big boy britches on for now. Unfortunately, we had to postpone the 1v1
Oh
until
yeah,
next
yeah,
week.
yeah. We need to talk about
Some
that for a
some
second.
ding dong decided to schedule a doctor's appointment and mess
I
that
did.
whole program
I
up.
did. I got my days mixed up.
And no, Queen, I'm not scared of Monticello, but you're going to Greenwood, and you're lucky you're not going to Tuckertown or somewhere up north.
Y'all need to go to Monticello in February, March.
I've never been there,
Oh,
but I've heard
Lord.
stories.
We used to go out there with a shad wrap. My gosh.
Old Joe lives in there. He
Ty-
might be brown
Did
sometimes
you bring up
too.
Bo Dixon? Bo Dixon caught one that weighed 16 pounds out of there.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I had the picture, and I gave it to him. Bo had an afro this big.
He ain't about this tall.
Yeah, I had a picture of him with the 16-pound bass. He left it in a store that closed, and the guy gave me the pictures in Columbia, Buck Sport Shop.
Really?
And he gave me a picture of Ben Lee with a 12.5-pounder
From Murray,
from
probably.
Murray.
Yeah.
And
So hang on
Ben
a
was
second.
at work when he took a picture of it, and he's got on one of those like Saturday Night Live suits. One of the polyester suits. He's had on that suit. His hair was out like that too.
He had butterfly collar
They
and all
had
that
it froze
stuff.
at the store, and but yeah, Bo caught. I want to say it tied the state record. I can't remember. It was 16 pounds.
It's 16 something's a state
16
record.
and 2, but yeah, he caught it on a deep little end.
Tyler Keith wants to know where this said log is.
Oh, it's Chala. It's on Water Rig.
He said it's on Lake Watery. Good luck finding it.
Yeah, darndest thing I've ever seen. But it used to be a dock like
Hang
that,
on a
too.
second. You talking about Bo Dixon having an afro? Was this Bob Ross days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
that was it.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Happy little trees.
Bo,
Happy
Bo's got
little
the picture
trees.
now.
My wife watched a documentary about Bob Ross. I don't know, a couple weeks ago. That's actually entertaining. I mean, I enjoyed Bob Ross.
Cookie said he knows where it is.
No, he don't either. I never took in there. You see, Ronnie Mueller said
Uh-huh.
Ben caught that in the Red Man.
Anyway,
sure that's
Dave,
what he's
before I
talking
interrupt you, go ahead.
What do we do? What?
Your wife and Bob Ross.
Oh no, I was rather entertained by it.
Daniel was talking about his tournament. Me and him went and fished the other day, and I hadn't fished in a year and a half, and I threw a 1.5 up on a rock, and I was sitting there doing this, and it was fish, and I thought I was hung,
Listen,
but I hadn't fished in a while, so I said that was a fish.
I leaned into one on a jerkbait, and I thought I was in a brush pile. It was actually a fish. Wasn't a big one. It just scared me. He was mean.
They got to eat too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The darndest thing down at Watery, every time I think about fishing them logs, was watching Ronnie Tap over the years.
Old tap.
He'd pull up and sit in that front seat, and he'd look over at you, and he'd fire that thing out there. He'd catch a fish, and he'd look at you. But we fished a Red Man back in the early 90s or 80s at the state park, and he was hilarious. If this happened this day and time, people would get mad, but we laughed.
Yeah.
But the Red Man guy, he done talked to the director, told him he had fish, and the director goes, anybody else got fish? And Ronnie said, I got a few. And we
Oh,
just
God.
died laughing. And I think he had like 22 pounds with that got them fish. But you know, I want to say it was 10 fish. I mean, you know, it was 10 fish limit, I think. Back then.
Really?
Might have been. No, it couldn't have been. Could it? Could the Red Man have been 20 fish limit? It couldn't have been.
I don't
With
think so.
Yeah, it was probably 5, but it was funny because he went and got those fish, and I remember him walking down that state park ramp laughing his tail off. And everybody was laughing with him. It didn't make anybody bad.
He was a nut.
Call
That
him
was a dude that I was just getting to know when he passed
He's
away,
something
man.
else.
He was just a big dude. You know, I mean, that guy was big.
I asked him one day, I said, what are you throwing? He said, a chocolate worm. I didn't ask him no more.
Jeff Murray, how you know about old Shifty?
Tracy Shift. I seen him out at one of the tournaments
Oh,
here
yeah.
not too long ago.
Yeah, I hadn't seen him in a long time either.
He used to jump in a BFL. They used to have one early out here. He'd get in every year.
I stayed next door to him at a BFL regional at Lake Seminole.
I
one
bet
time.
that was a party.
That was exciting.
I bet that was a party. Tim Kelly wants to know how you think fluctuating water at Watery over the next year or so is going to help or hurt,
Well,
especially the
they
grass.
said they're going to lead the water alone now.
They're going to.
That's what some people that went to some of the deep power meetings, they were going to lead the level alone. Because they dropped the water the last 4 years with the fish spawning. I want to say that. I know
They do it out here every year. They've done it for the last 5.
Why do you do that? I mean,
Who's that?
Jennifer.
Jennifer. Hello, Jennifer.
You know Jennifer?
I do know Jennifer.
Oh.
I met her at the Classic last year. Her and her husband.
I got you.
They live in, I want to say it's Nebraska or Oklahoma. It's out west, out in the Midwest somewhere.
Oh, your little brother's on here. Old tennis ball head.
Anthony
Fathead Johnson.
yeah. I'll never forget. Didn't y'all give him a trophy with a net on it or something? I'll never forget to see it. I didn't even know Anthony back then. I said, well, I guess he's a good sport.
And after when me and him won that
Was it the CBC?
the CBC the Clark Hill.
Yeah.
Yep. They gave him a net trophy. Nebraska. There we go.
All right. So, any secret tournament information coming up that you want to divulge?
No, just look on the cat site. You can look on the Facebook page of Cat. I post every week the upcoming tournaments for that week, so you can see what's coming up that week. And I encourage everybody to go out and fish anything. I mean, to me, there's not competition. It's just fun. There's enough people to go fish. There's enough tournaments, of course, but there's plenty of room for everybody. A lot of people, just like somebody said, man, you didn't have 200 boats. Y'all know 170, 150 boats is a lot of boats.
You ain't kidding.
I mean, that's plenty. And, you know, this day and time, too. But I say this day and time, I mean, everybody's got boats now.
Oh yeah.
Listen, 198 at Norman, and all but at least one that I know of weighed in. I don't know how many didn't weigh, but I know there was one that didn't weigh in.
But other thing, too, I get this every year in February. People say, there's 2 ramps closed. Well, they close this ramp every year to
Yeah.
keep the big boats from putting in. So when I get there, I just move the buoys. There's plenty of room for a
Well,
bass
they
boat
put
to
them
in.
back.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
noticed
did
when
they?
I came across.
I moved them.
I came across from Ramsey, and they were on the outside 2 ramps again.
Yeah, but it was plenty of water. They just trying to keep the big boats from really.
Matt
falling
Queen, Chris Marshall. Where's CBC championship gonna be?
off. Matt Queen, did he fish?
No,
No.
he's scared.
He's just one of them little yep, 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 yep. You know how them people are.
Yeah.
He's keyboard warrior on
One of
Monday
the guys
nights.
when I'm trying to drive through Charlotte pulling a trailer and they called me and want to know who won.
Yeah. Yeah, he too busy trying to chase a stupid turkey.
So, Brett, I'm gonna go here. You and I have known each other for
Oh Lord.
quite a few
Oh,
years
Lord.
now. Now, we all fish tournaments. Every tournament you go to, you know where your championship's going to be.
Yeah.
Every tournament you go to.
Yeah.
Except for the CBC.
There's some other ones, but nothing this big.
No, I'm just
So
saying.
the whole object of it is just trying to keep the home guys from having an advantage.
That's right.
How is there an advantage?
Well,
There's no practice.
No, but I mean,
But there's preparation.
Is there
Yeah.
preparation?
Absolutely.
oh Lord, yeah.
Well, here's the deal.
If I knew a $50,000 tournament was coming to my lake and I had 5 months to prepare, yeah. Ask Dylan Falk what he and I did for the Open. Spent the night out there on the lake putting brush piles in. Yeah.
I understand
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
But here's the thing.
If I knew I was fishing for 50 grand at CBC, I promise you I'd spend some time out there putting stuff in.
You don't put stuff when you were home. You didn't spend time putting stuff in anyway.
Where?
When you were before the elites, before
Not really.
you didn't ever.
Not really.
Okay,
I didn't need to.
Well-
I stayed on the water enough to know what the fish were doing.
that's right. That's right.
But
Now it's a
the biggest-
crapshoot for me.
Yeah,
'cause-
that's the biggest reason. Though.
Yeah.
And plus, too, I mean, the way I look at it, when I was coming up, and you too, I mean, you ain't a whole lot younger than me.
That's right.
There wasn't no $10,000 tournaments
No.
to fish. I'd fish, if I couldn't fish the championship, I'd fish the $10,000 tournaments.
Absolutely.
And nothing against other boat companies, but I'd buy a skeeter.
Dude, I had that conversation with Mike Stevens in here not 2 weeks ago. I told him, I said, Mike, let me tell you something. He's talking about buying this and buying that. I said, Mike, I said, have you ever sat down and thought about how much money you've left on the table by not running a skeeter?
Yeah.
He looked at me and I said, dude, think about it. I don't know. I know that he won. I know he won one before Murray, and I know he's been in the top 10 several times.
Yeah.
And you pay that bonus money. Was 4 places?
Yeah.
Okay, well, most of the time, if you can finish inside the top 10, you're probably going to get a little piece of it.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to win,
Yeah.
but you're going to get a little piece of it. And a little piece of it, what's like $1,000 or
The
$1,500?
last place is 1,000.
Yeah. And I mean, I told him, I said, dude, this off the top of my head, I can think of $25,000 or $30,000 you left on the table by not running one.
Well, Keith Porter and his partners won.
They paid
this
for their
week,
boat.
They almost $60,000.
They
Now,
pay-
I
they
don't know if
paid
it's the
for-
last 4 years or 5 years.
In bonus money.
It just from the skeeter bonus money,
Right.
CBC. But to me, the biggest thing is you only got 30 boats.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean, you obviously the CBC's. I
Yeah.
think probably the lowest number it's ever had was 80 something. That was that
About the
time we went
first-
to Falls.
yeah, but I mean, you can fish a lot of tournaments that's got more than 30 boats. You know, got 30
Oh,
boats or so.
absolutely.
But you know, with the other ones, it's 60 and you know that type
Yeah.
of stuff. That's just
Anthony Burton, you're right. The CBC Championship does have practice the week of the tournament, but that's not going to affect. I mean, 2 days on the lake for a local guy is no different than 2 days on the lake for you.
Nope.
It's not. I mean, everybody thinks it's oh, he's a local. It's just going to come easy. It ain't always like that.
Well, that's just like not letting pros fish. They think this cause you do it for a living, you ride around with your live wells open and fish just jump in.
well, I'll tell you another thing. Y'all remember how much Hades I called on Facebook about Santee Cooper Championship? You know, when we had the CBC down there and everybody's like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, the top 5, go back and look at the top 5. Pug
Yeah.
won.
yeah.
You could say Pug was from down there already.
No,
But them other guys,
Pug had a little inside edge.
well, yeah, but I mean, Pug lived up here, right?
He lives down here in
Yeah,
He
Little
lives,
Alice.
he lives here.
Yeah, all right. But the local guys didn't do nothing. I mean, the top 5, one of the teams was from Raleigh.
Yeah,
So, I mean, you never know. And Water was the same way, except Joey
Right.
and Barry won. But
Yeah.
after that,
yeah.
you know,
Tim Kelly, if you want to register for Skeeter Money, you need to go to the real Skeeter Real Money.
You have to be the original owner to get real money.
I think you got to be original owner, and it's got to be within 2 years.
2 or 3 years, yeah, 2 years.
But to get the CBC money, all you have to be is the owner. Ain't that
That's
right?
right. Be the owner with a Yamaha.
That's-
Tell me your registration.
So you don't even have to register for it. You just have to have
not,
your
not for
No.
CBC.
for the
just
CBC
be the
bonus
registered
money.
owner there.
Yeah.
No, I've carried my registration around with me to no avail. One day it's coming.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 weeks from now at Santee, Blind Squirrel can find a nut.
Yeah, because I mean,
God, I'd love to go to that tournament.
yeah, you go fish a CBC, paying back $10,000 more at every tournament than what they take in, because they pay back every dime of the money every tournament.
Plus bonus money,
Plus that, I mean, you know.
and they feed you.
Yeah. Well, that's 10,000 extra at every tournament, which is 9. That's 90,000, and then they pay 50,000 at the championship. That's not entry fee money either. So that's 140,000. And somebody said, "Well, we pay that membership. Well, we usually have around 900 teams. So you figure that up. That's only like 40,000.
Yeah.
I mean, that ain't even touching it.
No.
No, I mean that's the best thing. I couldn't believe it when we all sat down and talked. I'm like, yeah, y'all gonna do all this? And doggone, they did.
That's $90,000
What is?
for memberships for 900 teams.
No, it's only
No, it ain't $90,000.
Well, 900 individuals.
900 individuals.
Okay, I was gonna
it's-
say.
yeah, it's $100 a team.
Okay.
Yeah, so it runs around 40 to 45,000. So it doesn't even, it makes a little dent in what they take in. You know, I mean what they pay out, but they still pay back way more than they take in.
Yeah.
Chris Marshall, I would not do you that way because I'm sure you'll be there, and I got enough respect for you. Now, if I see you somewhere other, never mind, I'm not gonna say it out loud. But if I see you somewhere other than that, it's all open water. Going to Dante in the morning. I'm guessing you mean Santee.
They let Stan Gunner run a boat on Santee?
Yeah.
That don't sound safe, does it?
No, I always pick at Stan. One of the UPS guys said he went by there and saw Stan. I saw Stan. He's talking about he's fishing all the time. And I told the UPS guy, just joking, I said I let him borrow some trophies one time and put on his shelf when he had a party. And darn if he didn't, he told Stan that. And Stan said, no, he didn't.
Wow. Tim Kelly, you've had 3 weeks to practice at Santee, and I'm going blind. That will be an interesting tournament.
What is it? Josh Ryan wins a 1v1. Josh, it'll be next week. I kind of botched that up today and didn't even realize it.
Oh, my word.
No, we're not running PVC pipes. You can tell that story, David.
I'm not telling
Go
that
ahead and
story
tell it. I got to go.
to the little boys'
I'll be
room.
back in a second.
Is he talking about putting PVC
Okay,
pipes out in the
no,
lake?
no. So,
Oh, I've done that.
so a valued customer came in the store last year or year before, and he's like, I'm going to Santee with my wife for a week or a long weekend or something. Pug was sitting here at the table with us. And Pug lays him out and says, all right, Ron, you need to run around the stakes. Talk about PVC poles that mark the stumps up the lake.
Yeah.
All over the lake. But
Yeah.
he said, run around the poles. Ron ran pole to pole to pole. Every time he'd get close to the pole, he'd hit something. Couldn't understand why. He got back. I thought you told me them poles were safe. No, they're not safe, Ron. Stay away from the poles. Leaving Thursday. Oh, this Thursday. You're going to spend the whole weekend down there, Chris. I might have to go Sunday.
To Santee.
I might.
You ought to go. I mean, it's
Hey, what are you
crazy.
doing
It's gonna be
Sunday?
Crazy.
What?
What are you doing Sunday?
Oh, I don't know.
We day tripping.
What are you talking about?
We day tripping.
What are you talking about?
Santee, Sunday.
Oh, I don't know. It might be fun.
Might be.
Might be fun.
All right, so 1v1 next week. Yeah, Shane boogered that up.
I did. I botched it up. I scheduled a doctor's appointment on the original day we were supposed to go to the CBC or the 1v1 this week. So, yep, that one's on me.
Jason Fulmer.
What was that? Sal? What was that?
Little Mount Fire and Rescue Tournament. $5,000 payout. First place on Lake Murray on Good Friday, which is what?
April
13th or 14th,
that's
something
right
like that.
Yeah. All right, so if you're around Murray or have a free weekend, go fish that tournament. Sounds like a good one. Anthony Johnson says you will be working
I don't know what he's talking about.
Sunday.
I don't know what Sunday is.
Oh, he thinks you're going to be at the Classic working.
Oh, I forgot about that. I might be
Oh, okay.
Saturday. I'm gonna be at Norman fishing.
You're going to go down Thursday night, work Friday, fish Saturday, and go back down Sunday?
Probably.
That's out.
It ain't that far down there. It's just Greenville.
Oh, Ultimate Match Fishing Live. Ooh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
You get the front of the boat for the first 4 hours. I get the front of the boat for the last 4 hours. Come on, let's go have some fun.
Oh, yeah. Then you gotta have somebody video though.
We can do it. We'll take turns.
You reckon?
Let's figure something out. We could strap GoPros to our head, our bellies, all the whole
I'm out.
night.
I'm out on that.
I can't believe Matt McBee ain't got on here and said something.
He don't say a whole
don't-
lot. He gets on there from time to time.
Oh, he was sweating Saturday. Because we give him a hard time if he don't do any good.
Oh, I'm sure.
You got to.
He
Yeah.
deserves it.
Oh, yeah. They said he was laying down in the back of the boat at 1 o'clock, hadn't caught a fish. Then he was like, oh, God.
Whining.
Yeah. And they ended up catching 12 pounds.
Stan Gunner, you're about half correct on that.
Yeah. The thing about Tater Hog is he's got that same story at every tournament weigh-in. We didn't have nothing at 1 o'clock. Pulled up and caught 17 pounds. I tend to think he's full of crap. What do I know?
He'll tell one.
Yeah.
I've found out with most bait builders, between the paint and the resin, it tends to go to their heads.
It kills some brain cells.
It messes them up a little bit.
I'm going to be honest. I've had Matt send me pictures where he's been painting all day and his eyes are swollen.
I guarantee you.
You can't be good for it. Can't be good for you.
Well, I mean, you'd think that he would know better than that.
He wears the
Respirator.
thing, but I mean his eyes are swelling. He's got allergic to that stuff. Yeah, see, Daniel said he witnessed it. Yeah, he called me one time. Looked like bumblebees that stung him.
That wasn't oregano, Matt. I shouldn't say that. He's not here to defend himself. All right. Well, we've kept 100 viewers this whole time.
That's
I guess
good.
Brett
We've
Collins
got
is
to have
like,
Brett on here more often.
I
It's
mean,
been fun, really.
Brett, you want to dive into the bracelet you got on your wrist?
Oh, that there's David. Etheridge,
I know.
where David's having some health problems. We went to a church thing for him, and
I heard there was going to be a tournament. Is there
yeah,
a
we're gonna
tournament?
get something together for him to do something. David's good as gold.
He
Good.
is.
Do it sometime other than April, please.
Yeah.
So I can come.
Yeah, that's another thing about fishermen. I know over the years y'all have done it, and I've seen people do it. You go somewhere to fish a little tournament, there's a little benefit going on. Some of the bass fishermen give somebody something. You know, fishermen always look after people.
That's
you know?
right.
And David's like that too. You know, over the years, David's talked to me about somebody that needs something or, you know, lacking something. And, you know, people always, I joke with my granddaughter. I said, when you go to get married, baby, the first thing you check, see if they got a boat.
That's right.
Yeah, she laughs. But,
I'm going to tell you something. It's a benefit and a sentence all in the same.
that's right. Yeah, we're going to get together and do something, you know, because David's been fishing for years, and
He's a good dude, man.
he is. He's good as gold.
I'm glad to see you come down here and took them boys' money in the first cat.
Yeah, I do.
Now, I don't know what happened this week. I heard they had some boat troubles.
Yeah.
Whose boat did they take?
David's.
Uh,
He had some battery troubles, I think, from what I understand. I don't know. Benfield was in here earlier.
oh, yeah. Yeah, it's no telling.
I heard that he could hear the shad spawning from Clearwater. That's what I heard.
That may or may not have come from Round Man. Maybe.
I'm sure you could dive into a lot more of that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's over the years we've had some fun times down there.
Mm. I wish I could come down there more.
I tell you the craziest thing. I'll tell you this real quick. It was hilarious, and it caused me some phone calls for a couple of weeks. There's
Oh,
a guy
Lord.
there named Ray Dowdy. Hadn't got a lick of scent. Well, Ray comes up in the spring, hadn't got a fish, so he goes down there next to the little brick wall at Watery. Everybody that weighed in, when they going back down there with their bag, they got a 6 or 7 pounder. He's getting it, putting it in his bag. So everybody get done. He told me, come up there and said something to me. At the end of the tournament, I said, scales closed, whatever. We sitting there, and he come walking up with that bag of fish. He said, can I just weigh them? He said, I was late. I just lost time. And he weighed those fish, and they weighed like 38 pounds. And people said, boy, I bet you feel stupid. Can you believe that? Well, that was in the 90s, and that went around forever. The guy at Watery showed up late with 30-something pounds. Would have blew the field away. No kidding. But Ray is something else now. He's always done some crazy stuff like that.
I tell you what, old Doc dropping 34 down there.
Hey, I've witnessed that firsthand. I never will forget that. We was in the weigh-in line. Or Johnson was in the weigh-in line. And we had like 21, and Johnson was walking up there with his chest bowed out, you know. And I told him, I said, man, we might not even get a check. Oh, we're going to win this thing. I said, we're definitely not going to win. Hopefully we'll get paid.
Yeah.
Well, this so happened, they walked up there, got to the tank about the same time Anthony did, and Anthony let him go in front of him. And I'll never will forget that. You grabbed that bag and rolled it, and it wouldn't fold over. And you dropped it in that basket, and they stuck up over the basket. And I said, what in the hell have they got in there? It was 33 pounds. I said, God knows.
Well, you know, as much as I fished before I started running tournaments, I mean, I can remember being down at Santee with 10 fish limit. And me and Steve Phillips had like 46 pounds. And we come in like 27. And I was at Lake Murray. Davey Hyatt and his brother-in-law, Scott Martin, not Scott Martin,
Yeah,
but his brother-in-law.
Used to be Martin's Marine down
That's
there in
right.
Prosperity.
They fished together a lot. Well, they had figured out that high drilling, and we hadn't. And I remember it was the South Carolina Team Trail, and Davey come up there with a bag of fish struggling and put it in the sink, and his brother-in-law come up, and the weigh master said, whoa, buddy, one bag at a time. He said, I'm with him. they had 10 that weighed like 58 pounds.
God.
Big fish was 11. That was before Davey started fishing pro, of course.
Yeah.
But I remember Roland Martin and Paul Elias was there because they had like a BP Top 100 or something coming
Mhm.
up. Yeah, and they were sitting there. I remember Paul Elias was squatted down, smoking a cigarette, watching everybody. And Roland was trying to get everybody to carry him out. But that's what they weighed in that day.
Mm.
You've seen some crazy things back then.
Mm.
They had some characters, you know, like with Ronnie and some of the other ones.
Is that what are we talking about here?
What?
Scott Henley.
Oh no, that's not tomorrow. That's not tomorrow.
What's going on?
I'm supposed to go Wednesday. I forgot to tell you that. To Randleman.
How you can go to Randleman? You got a chiropractor appointment now.
The chiropractor appointment is Thursday. That's when we were originally supposed to go
Oh, yeah.
to what you call it.
I thought.
That's when we were supposed to have the 1v1 was Thursday at Greenwood.
So you made the chiropractor appointment for 4 o'clock on
Yes.
Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay. Well, whatever.
Yes.
So what is this?
Every year, Jerry Bono, Randleman opens whatever, Randleman closes throughout the winter. Well, this coming Wednesday is the opening, the opening day for Randleman. Well, every year, Jerry Bono and the guy that owns 31 Dodge, Blake, they have a little challenge. Well, I have to take Blake. All right. And Jerry gets to pick his partner. So they go every year and they put up some money, and we've been doing it for, I think this will be the 5th year. And Bono ain't won yet.
Uh-oh.
Knock on wood. It's been good so far.
Uh-oh.
So
Dang, so I got to hold down the fort by
yeah,
myself
I'm
Wednesday?
glad he brought that up because it totally slipped my mind.
I got people messaging me I ain't heard from in a year.
See there, they all watch you, man.
Chad Ravens. I ain't seen Chad's. I don't even know what Chad looks like. It's been so long. He said, "Man, you're looking good." I'm like, "Oh, hush."
You didn't realize what you was getting into, did you?
No.
All right. Well, yeah, you've had your fair share of tournament wins.
Well, over the years we did really well.
You
Yeah.
and Andy Owens.
Andy and back then.
Does he still fish?
Yeah, he just goes out fishing for some crappie and some perch here and there.
He don't
go
tournament
for
fish
large.
anymore.
No, he helps with his mother and stuff. But I mean, I
I
talk
got
to
you.
him every now and then.
I know you guys were. He was always leading the cap money, but I know you had a part of that
I
too.
tell you what, the funniest thing, first time I fished with Andy, first few times, Andy didn't throw a crankbait. And I remember talking him into throwing, I don't even know what it was. And I remember he cast out and he said, and he held the rod, he said, "I think I got one." Yeah. But I tell you, the thing about Andy, from fishing with him, the only thing I can tell you that he did different than anybody else. He laid that jig in there quiet, and he hardly ever hit a post. Hardly ever.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
And I tried, he told me, when you make the cast, keep your elbow close to your body. And that works. I mean, I started, keeping my elbow down, and it just seemed like I got a little more accuracy, but he fished with those Daiwa reels, and he'd sling that jig right up there. And just knew what to do with it.
Yeah. I can tell you
Tim.
something. That right there is something that I have gotten totally not good at.
What, jig?
Skipping a jig.
Skipping a jig?
Golly, I don't ever get to do it anymore.
Oh, I took him over to Murray when the fish were chasing a herring, and he was trying to skip a spook and everything, a pencil popper across the water. I said, you got to do that. But he kept looking. We were fishing an NBC tournament, and we were out there at the Coast Guard Point down there near Murray.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept throwing. He said, "Look at them docks over there." And he'd throw a little more. He said, "Man, you see the docks over there?" I said, "Andy, go over there to the docks. Let's go to the docks."
Get that out of your system.
Yeah, so we went over there to the docks. He couldn't stand it.
Did he catch one?
Yeah, we caught fish off them docks. Yeah.
So from what I understand, Bono's bringing his ace, Jerry Davis.
Oh, yeah?
That's what.
Good. He won't have no excuse this year.
Anyway. Let's see here. Tim Harrington wants to know what your biggest tournament win is.
Y'all won the Red Fox. We won the Tri-State down there maybe 3 or 4 times, but I don't think first place was up to 2,500 maybe. Back when I fished a lot, there wasn't no purses like this.
No.
We won the Red Fox in 1989. There was like 200 boats and got $1,200. But there wasn't, just,
And you thought you were like the man that day too.
oh,
Walked around with that old chest.
oh,
blown
no, the
down.
big thing was coming back the next week to the next tournament. Me and Bill Boulder standing over there like, yeah. And you know what we caught those fish on? Y'all would never guess. Bill was a big worm fisherman. I was working. He said, boy, he was out there fishing. He said, I have caught the fish today. He went to Walmart and bought $1 pack of Renegade chartreuse crawls. Looked like Jean LaRue crawls. Texas rigged those things. And we went out there and killed them on them things.
Whacked them.
That's what he caught, on a chartreuse crawl. But I mean, that's about it. I mean, the stuff, I won a good bit of that stuff, and I'll tell you how I was doing. The craziest thing. The tri-state every year was the first week of October. Well, we won it one time in the spring, but it was usually in October. I went around in one cove. My cat tournament started last September. Well, I'd go around fishing. I went in the back of a cove with a white floating worm in the walls. I'd throw that worm up against that wall, and you'd see the weight coming down the wall. It's so shallow.
Ooh,
And I
like
had
that.
2 or 3 places like that early in the morning. One guy saw me doing that at one tournament.
Ruined it forever.
He told everybody I was throwing a white jig. But he never did catch on. But we'd catch 15, 17, 18 pounds before the sun got up good.
Dang.
And nobody else was doing that on a white floating worm.
Chris Marshall, you did help me with the jig skipping mess. The problem is when you set the jig down in September and don't pick it up till what was that? Last week, a week ago? You get a little rusty. You get a little rusty. I'm not sure that I had new line on my jig reel from September either.
That's terrible.
Joey's about it.
Yeah.
Why don't we go to Fishing Creek? Don't y'all like Fishing Creek?
I'm going to tell you
It's
something.
awesome.
Let's go. I'll go with you when you want to go.
Run up the left side, take a little right, you're all right. You won't hit nothing.
That's right. When you want to go, let's go.
When it gets hot,
You and I have had some tangles down there.
it's not like it used to be. But,
No,
Nothing's like it used to be.
no, but I'll tell you what. That has got the most ungodliest amount of mayflies on that place.
Crazy. Yeah. And balls floating.
Oh, you could go down there and outfit a middle school with
God.
soccer balls and basketballs. I don't know where they all come
For
from.
1 year,
Fort
somebody
Mill.
dumped all the little plastic balls out of the little McDonald's playpen. There were thousands of them floating around. I don't know where they all come from.
Thomas Richmond used to always run a Memorial Day tournament down there.
Yeah.
I think you and I fished that against each other several years in a row.
That's the last tournament I won. That was like 2 or 3 years ago. We won something. Me and Anthony won something Thomas was doing down there on the Fishing Creek.
What day was that Good Friday?
April something.
I know that.
I don't know. That's March. Keep going.
Well, I had that. Where'd it go?
There's April.
Is it the 8th or the 15th?
It should be on your iPhone. 8th. Click the 8th and see what it... No. I don't know. Come on, somebody help us out. Good Friday is on what day?
This is like the middle of April.
Let's see if my calendar's got it.
It's April 15th.
The 15th is Good Friday. It sure is. Look at her.
Yep.
All right.
That's
I'm
when...
trying to see if I can make that happen.
What?
That good in there and fish that tournament.
What tournament?
That little mountain tournament.
Yep.
What the world is that?
Brett's popular.
What?
I'm not even going to touch that.
I know.
What is it?
I'm
Chad Raven running his mouth.
I'm not even going to go there. It is the 15th. Thank you, Joey. Yeah, you got to jump in on the 1v1.
I'll do it one day. Y'all just give me a little heads up.
No, well, somebody's got to have the belt when you're available.
Oh.
I'll be at the James River.
Yeah, you will. I won't be there, unfortunately. All right. Well, we're dwindling down here. We've been on an hour and a half. Any questions for Brett before we go? I'm sure Joey's going to ask you if you even remember how to hold a fishing rod.
I know. I used to fish Murray, and Joey was probably in his teens. I know he was.
You know what's bad is you probably could still go beat him down there right now
Probably
today.
so.
Shots fired.
Yeah. I deliver to his house too, so he don't.
If I give you a package, will you drop it off for him?
I'm down at UPS with 58,000 packages every day, and he sends me a text. Hey man, can you find my trolling motor?
Yeah,
"No,
sure.
I don't think I can.
No problem. Oh my gosh.
I got a package for you to drop off. The only thing I need you to do is just light it before you leave.
Yeah.
No, because then his wife would find it,
That's
and it'd
the
be a whole
craziest-
nother.
The crazy thing is delivering around Lake Murray. I deliver to people that I know. And then they get a tackle warehouse package, and I'll just make a guess. I'll shake it, and it don't shake. I'll text the guy. I say, "Hey man, I put your swim baits right up here." That kind of stuff. One guy, I shook it and it rattled, and just guessing, I said, I ain't gonna say his name, but I said, I put your jerk baits on top of your 4-wheeler. Well, how did you open my package? No, I just guessed.
Got him.
Yeah.
Dalton Dowdy wants to know when you're taking him fishing.
That's another UPS story. I go by his house. He's got the road blocked with his boat. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to carry him fishing. I go by his place of work too because I deliver to Lou's.
Well, I know you don't take any shipments out of Lou's because there ain't
Yeah,
nothing
there
there
ain't
to
nothing to
ship.
be had there,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I know it's tough right now. People don't realize what's in Columbia. You got Lou's and Strike King, and you got
Abu Garcia.
Yeah, there's all kind of stuff in.
You got
Columbia.
Shimano in Charleston.
Yeah.
All right. You got anything else for tonight?
I'm good, buddy.
1v1
Wrap
next
it.
week. What
Yeah,
day did we say? Next Thursday?
Next Thursday.
No. You said Wednesday
No,
because you had to
I'm
be
leaving the
somewhere.
9th.
That's Wednesday. We're doing it, and then you're leaving from there.
That's right.
All right. Can we just take your boat?
Nah, I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
No, that's fine. I won't burn your gas. Stuff's expensive.
Yeah.
Real expensive. All right, check out the website. We do have a couple Lew's reels in stock and Shimano,
Got a good many Shimanos.
and new stuff rolling in every day. Oh man, I forgot to put out we got a custom color bloody thumb bait that we'll post pictures of for you guys to check out. Wednesday, yes, thank you, Matt Queen. I know you'll be there with your little bell bottoms on. Just don't get too upset. All right, guys. Rusty Hooks Live, where our hooks may be rusty, but our points are always sharp. Tune in next week.
Yeah, and Brett, thanks for coming, man.
Brett, thank you.
Enjoyed having you.
Enjoyed it.
We enjoy anytime we get to pick on you a little bit.
I'll come back. This is fun.
It is.
I don't have to work late now. I'm usually working.
There you
I
go.
don't have to do that no more.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, I showed you how